Hello and welcome to video number 3 of this little video blogging experiment on YouTube. Today we had two interesting posts, two blog post conversations or items found on the internet for the day that I wanted to share with everybody and talk about and comment on. The first one comes from our excellent friend in learning, Dr. Will Thalheimer, has an outstanding blog post where he debates Kirkpatrick's 4 levels of training evaluation, the model. And the title of his post is Kirkpatrick Model Good or Bad? The Epic Mega Battle. And there's a debate basically in the blog post between Clark Quinn and Will Thalheimer, going back and forth, having a spirited exchange about the Kirkpatrick model. And I found it quite fascinating, actually. And I'm not even really too sure where to begin with this particular topic with this. I mean, they both cover their thoughts so thoroughly that it's hard for me to go in to even tell you. So I guess the first thing I'll tell you is go to willatworklearning.com, willatworklearning.com. Check out the blog posts, read it. The comments are outstanding too. So everybody has an opinion on Kirkpatrick's model. And so I'd encourage you to go do that and write your own post about it and share it back with me if you want, or share it back with Will or with all of us. Let us know what you think. But for those of you who are new to the training world and maybe need a little bit of a refresher, obviously just Google the 4 levels, Donald Kirkpatrick, and you'll get all sorts of returns from Google or whatever your favorite search tool may be. But the basic idea and the basic history kind of goes like this. Dr. Kirkpatrick was, I'll just read it straight from here, Professor Emeritus at the University of Wisconsin and past president of the American Society for Training and Development, otherwise known as ASTD, today otherwise known as ATD, since they recently changed their name. He first published his 4-level training evaluation model in 1959 in the U.S. Training and Development Journal. The model was then updated in 1975 and then again in 1994 when he published his best-known work, Evaluating Training Programs. And the 4 levels are: number 1, reaction; number 2, learning; number 3, behavior; and number 4, results. And then you go into each one of those sections. But I think we lovingly refer to level 1 as smile sheets, right? After somebody has taken your training, you give them a survey and just ask them how they liked the course. What did they think they learned? Are they going to be using this learning in their job? What would you like to see again? Your standard survey of people's feelings, of their immediate reaction to the course, which is important data to have for certain reasons. Not a lot of actual learning data can you pull from those, but it's a good start, which is why it's level 1. It's simple, and it just kind of gets the ball rolling. So I'll leave it at that. Let you investigate Kirkpatrick's 4-level training evaluation model at your leisure. And actually go back and read Dr. Thalheimer's blog post debating the mega battle with Clark Quinn. It's actually very good. And I've invited both of them to do a Google Hangout with me. We are tentatively scheduled for Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So I'll see if that time works for them. If not, it will be, we'll do it some other time. But it'll be recorded and we'll put it up somewhere. But that will be fun too. Reading the debate is always fun, but actually having the debate, I think, will be a lot more fun. So I look forward to that. The other thing that I ran across today, which is an outstanding write-up as an interview in the Harvard Business Review in the technology section, blog post titled, or article, whatever you want to call it these days, what MIT is learning about online courses and working from home. And since I am in the online learning field, and I also work from home and have for quite some time for many different companies, doing many different roles, this was extremely validating and very relevant to my work life and what I do. So I would encourage you to read that. Hit up HBR, the tech section. And, he touches on everything. I think I'm going to have to get connected with the person that was interviewed, the instructor of the school, was his name. Peter Hurst, director of the executive education program at the MIT Sloan School of Management. And so I need to get a hold of him and maybe do an interview of some sort, because this is right up my alley and something I'm extremely interested in. And he touches on a lot of points about online learning and working from home, and how do we educate online virtually, and where the different models are going, and how we're moving from this idea of MOOCs, which is still kind of linear, and to something that is a little bit more user chosen. So he has a great point here. I will read it verbatim. And the question was posed to him this: where do you see online learning going next? And his answer is, if you look at a lot of the MOOC style programs that proliferated in the last couple of years, I think their starting point was to try to capture a professor teaching a class that they're already teaching. Just put that out in a very long form video for people to watch. And that's evolved into trying to break those up into something more like a collection of TED Talks. But even that is still linear. You progress through the class through a sort of a syllabus. What we're seeing most recently, and what I'm very excited about, is going from that linear model to a much more non-linear idea. The digital learning experience is becoming really a collection of interrelated learning nuggets that you might take very different paths through, depending who you are and what your needs are and how you learn most effectively. So that's where I'm seeing some interesting changes happening. And I am seeing the exact same changes and encourage those changes. I'm working on a model myself that I've promoted and talked about quite a bit, about doing exactly what he said. He's talking about it more from a large shift from that very long form video of an instructor to a shorter form, sort of TED Talk chunks. But I'm talking about doing that on purpose as a way to, in corporate training, as a way to get business value to the business via the training department. So my quick example of this is in following this model is when you've got a subject matter expert, and the quickest thing you can do is get him in a classroom, schedule it, get people to show up either virtually or in an actual classroom, then video record that, then put it out right away. Don't wait. You release it and it's recorded version. That's the part he's talking about. That's the long form video. And I think those are fine. Those are good. But from an instructional design standpoint in the corporate space, that's just step one. Then the next step is, while that's available to your employees and to the learners, now you're behind the scenes working on splitting it up and making it a little bit more effective and a little bit easier to swallow and consume in smaller chunks across mobile devices maybe. And maybe you're starting to build in some interactivity and see and get some feedback from those early consumers of that content to figure out what exactly the bits are that they need in order to perform their job more effectively. So back to Kirkpatrick's model, where we can use that model, figuring out what they need to take the knowledge that they've learned and actually apply it on the job, taking us to the level 3 of Kirkpatrick. And then, of course, level 4, trying to figure out what the business value is. So those are my two hot topics for today. And hope you enjoyed it. Give me some comments. Let me know what you think of these videos, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.